Good afternoon, everybody. It's May 18th. Hope everybody's doing well. Partly sunny, partly cloudy. Chance of thunderstorms here all this week, so hope the weather's beautiful where everybody's at. Today I want to talk about a few things. Actually, just some of it's, most of it's just telling about some experiences I've had over the years. Some things back in Vegas, and one with a friend in Vegas recently. There's one experience I've shared on my blog, and these things I've shared on the blog before, some of them. But the one I had an epiphany, which is just a sudden, like a light bulb moment, goes off in your head where you suddenly understand something more clearly or a deeper meaning. This is really a deeper meaning. And this is an experience back when I was hiking. I had a number of spiritual experiences back when I was hiking in the mountains in Las Vegas area. And I'll tell you a whole story of the hike. It was a couple of spiritual experiences. I had hiked back up up this one valley. And Vegas is not a lot of trees, even when you hike in the mountains. It's very rocky and dry. And I hiked up to this one stopping point where there's this man-made rock shelter. It was probably used for hunting or something a long time ago. I'm just standing up there and looking down the valley and just admiring God's beauty and just praising God. Oh my God, it's so awesome. I was just making up words of praise. And enjoying the view, and I noticed it was a sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, which is a typical Las Vegas day. And I noticed, I believe there was a a dark shadow on the opposite mountain, this low mountain. And I was up probably almost eye level with just below the tip of it, where I was at. And I was like, I look up because there was no clouds in the sky. I looked up, there was a small cloud that appeared, it was dancing around the sun, not really moving. And I looked back down and was watching the shadow. All of a sudden it started to move across this small valley towards me. Now, the direction it was moving was from a southeasterly direction. This is a southeasterly wind. And anybody who lives in Vegas knows the wind don't blow that way. Extremely rare for that to blow that way. So that was extremely unusual. And the shadow was moving directly towards me. And I just felt compelled to rebuke and banish the name and blood of Jesus Christ. And it split and went around me, and I remained in the sunlight. It went past. And then I looked up at that cloud that was moving away. So I thought that was awesome. Because here I was praising God, and then the shadow appeared. And that's not unusual for people who believe in God and have strong faith. And this is years back, not as strong a faith as I have now. And then I spent some time there and I decided to hike, start hiking back down. And the trail had zigzagged, crisscrossed this dry creek bed. I said, well, instead of following the trail, I'm just going to go down the right side and then pick it up one of the times it crosses across, hits on that side. And I kept going, and it was getting a little bit higher up the one side of the one mountain there, and it wasn't hitting the trail. So, well, I was heading in the right direction, but I said, well, I need to get down towards the trail. So I made a left turn and headed downhill. And ended up right in this briar patch, thorn bushes, without realizing it. Because it's like walking up onto them, and I stepped down to my knee, my left knee, and my right leg's up. And it's like, what the heck? And why I didn't just back up, I don't know. But I managed to extricate myself, pull my leg out of that, and took another step with my right and sunk down to my hip. So it was like my left leg was up, like straddling for a hurdler. And I realized the thorns had wrapped around my arms too, so they were pinned to the front of my body, and I couldn't move. And I tried to start lifting my right leg out, and the boot started to come out. I said, "Oh man, I don't want to lose my boot." So I just put my foot back down and just like starting to panic. Panic's starting to set in because the sun's going to be going down in another couple hours, and I was way up the trail. Nobody's gonna come up that far that time of the day, or that time of the year, because this was like October. And so I started to panic, and just calm myself down, and just like, just started saying, okay, help me Jesus, help me Jesus. I just keep repeating, like I said before, just help Jesus, help me Jesus, help me Jesus. If you're in a situation you can't get out yourself, just help me Jesus, help me Jesus, help me Jesus, over and over again. Just kept seeing it, and slowly I was able to extricate my hands, which I couldn't before, and then there was nothing for me to hold on to or try to lever myself against, but I managed to pull my leg out, and the boot wasn't coming off, and I was able to slowly get myself out of that, and I'm hunched down on top of this thorn bush that was holding me up, and I crept across the top of it without sinking anymore, and there's these tall bushes in front of me, maybe 5 feet, 4 feet, and I pulled them down, and there was the path right there on the other side of those bushes. Like, and I stepped down on the path and praising Jesus, thank you Jesus, thank you Jesus. I'm looking at my arms all scratched up, and immediately came to mind this crown of thorns. And I said, thank you Jesus for giving me a little small touch idea of what you felt on your head with the thorns. And I realized, was reminded that, hey, no matter when we stray off a path, or how often we stray off path, all we do is cry out to him, help me Jesus, get me back on path, and he will bring us back onto that path. And we will stray. I've strayed off path lots of times in my life. That's going to happen. It's life. Darkness knows what we like, what's in our hearts too, and they'll use that to try to draw us. Like I said, they're like fishermen too, throwing the right bait. Say you have like to get drunk and party, and then you end up doing stupid stuff. So hey, it's gonna throw you that opportunity to get drunk. Oh, you're out. Okay, take another drink, and you'll take that perfect bait. And it'll start to reel you in. That's what darkness does. So that's why I say ask for discernment of darkness and all the tricks and snares and all that sort of thing, so that you don't fall prey to that, or you recognize it right away. And you will recognize it. As you grow in His light and righteousness and faith, you will recognize that stuff and be able to rebuke it and banish it a lot quicker and a lot sooner. So that was awesome. But I was just sitting here doing my prayers. I'll walk around doing my prayers. It makes my mind work better, and I'll find myself like I'm preaching to to a person or a large group of people, and then I realize I'm doing that, and I stop, and that's usually what it is He wants me to talk about on the video. So that's interesting. Oh, that's Luna's back. Somebody say hi to Luna again. Hey Luna, look, yes. That's enough. That's enough. And I have to pay you in dog biscuits if you stay up there too long. Okay. Anyways, so I had an epiphany about that experience, and these things come to me every once in a while. You can go on just minding your own business, all of a sudden you have a sudden realization about something, a deeper understanding of something. So as you open up to that and you grow and you get more and more debris, emotional and physical world stuff out of the way, like Tumblr's click, or another little piece of the puzzle is given to you, like for your own personal puzzle or to understand something. And this was about the parable of the sower of the seed, where the seeds are thrown on different type of ground. The sower throws seeds on different types of ground, and each type of ground partakes or has to do with a type of person, a level of faith. One, can be no faith or weak faith. The seed lands on barren ground. The wind's blowing away. Birds pick it up and eat it. So they just have no faith. They hear the word and it just goes past them, which a lot of people are, even ones that go to church. Then there's the seeds that land on the rocky ground, where it stays there a little bit longer, but not long after, it's blown away or just is ignored, or it rots, decays, because there's nothing no fertile ground for it to take root in. And then there's the seeds that fall on thorny ground, where it takes root, but then bad things happen. The darkness comes along with those little baits, and these thorny bushes come up, like I was on, and takes you away or interferes with your faith. Then there's seeds that fall on fertile ground, and those take root, spring up vines, part of his vine, part of his branches from his vine, and bear fruit of your own, hopefully. But I know, I've come to realize that, hey, there's one more before that, above that. And that is this certainty, knowledge, knowing. Because faith, no matter how strong it is still a belief in unseen or unknown. Belief. It's not absolute doubt. Above that is absolute certainty, absolute doubt. And I'm in that process, moving to absolute doubt as far as everything that I've been told, and because I've been getting confirmations of it eventually. Everything I would get a sense of, awareness of, eventually gets confirmed. So my epiphany was, after all this story, was that in that hike down, I went from rocky ground, or barren ground, which is dry desert, down through rocky ground, through thorny ground, onto the fertile ground, the path. So he took me through that whole parable right there. He transitioned me through those whole things. I was on probably barren ground to rocky ground faith, and he took me right through to fertile ground. Just like that. Or he showed me what he was going to do. Because this was before the whole, okay, I want you to retire, I want you to sell everything, give us a I want you to go hit the road, I need you to go here and there and here and there. So it was before that. So it was like he was prepared, doing that and showing me, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And he's done it. So it was like, wow. It was those wow light bulb moments. And you will have those. As you open your heart and mind more to all possibilities. Again, all things are possible with God. Even though you don't understand it, don't get it, this is too crazy out there. It's like high math. You're like, how is that possible? You still got to acknowledge that, hey, it is possible. I just don't get it. Help me to get it, Lord. But it's your choice. It's your free will choice. Do you want to get it and understand it? Or are you just happy at the level you're at? You're happy at the pre-algebra level. You're happy at the decimals and fractions level. And that's fine. That's your choice. But I, especially when it calls you, hey, chose to want to learn more. So that was that epiphany, that story. Other story was random acts of kindness. I said random acts of kindness is just where you're suddenly moved without any thought, almost like a reflex. I mean, we all do good things out there and help others, hopefully. When we do random acts of kindness, it's like a reflex, a knee-jerk reaction. You suddenly see somebody or someone that needs help or needs to hear a good word or whatever, and you just do it without even thinking. That's pure kindness. And the Lord presents these opportunities to you, and they're kind of like a pop quiz. I view them as a pop quiz. It's like, okay, whoops, I failed that pop quiz. But, if you at least thought to go do that, maybe you didn't have money on you at the time, which that's happened with me because I don't carry cash rarely. But I wanted to, or, there's somebody by the side of the street who's going to, but suddenly the light's green, like, I gotta go. So I thought about it. It occurred to me. I picked up on it. So that's something. There's other times where I drove around, made a U-turn, a right turn, a U-turn, a U-turn, a left turn, and so forth, and parked, and then walked over to them. I've done that before. But, if you're in a hurry to get someplace, and lots of times that'll happen, you're like, oh, damn, darn, I can't stop. But if you thought about it, you reacted in a mental way and acknowledged it, that's something. And that's taken into account, I believe. But anyways, some examples of that. Well, a lot of people say, well, no, like they're on a street corner person, they're just going to use the money for drugs or whatever. Well, I did that years ago. I would hand out money and whatnot in Atlanta a long time ago, but then there was some muggings and stuff not like that, and so I stopped, and I felt the same way. They're just going to go use it to buy drugs or whatever, booze, cigarettes. They're not going to use it the way I intended it to. Well, you know what? It's not about me. It's about them. Once you give something to somebody, it's not yours. You have no say in what they do with it. Just like a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, what they do with it it's theirs. You've given it to them. If there's conditions to it, then it's not a true gift at all. Plain and simple. If it's a gift, a wedding gift, or a gift for baptism, anything. If you give a gift from yourself to somebody, and they have to use it, you expect them to use it or accept it in the way you intended to, then that's conditional, and that's not true gift. So you want it to be spontaneous, random act of kindness, or acts of random kindness, if you want to look at it that way. I call it random acts of kindness. Well, what changed me back the other way, say it to where if you're moved in that reflex knee-jerk reaction to give, to do something good, you do it. Just do it, because you don't know. It may be a pop quiz, or you may be thrust in that situation in the future, and then somebody else fails or blows you off when you need it. So if you move to do that, you've passed your pop quiz. If we can look at it that way. Now, that person receiving it, if they fail the pop quiz, they fail to use that random act of kindness the way God wanted it to be used. If they go off and use it for drugs or whatever, that's on them. That's between them and God, not you. Once you give that money over, it's unconditional, you're out of the loop. You've earned your deposit in your treasure account in heaven, and it's on the other person, not you. So don't worry about it. You want to just not give them money, get some food, a sandwich, whatever, and take that to them to make sure they use what you intended it for. Okay, that's fine too. But again, it really needs to be up to them to use it for what they want to use it for, because it has to be free will. And you by buying them food, giving them the sandwich, which is good deed on your part, but it's also taken away. It's their free will as to how to spend that gift. So I'm not saying don't do that. Absolutely do that. If you moved, that's how you moved to react, then by all means do that. And I have done that. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. No, not at all. But it's a little different. So how you move to do that, help them, and then help. If you just want to stand there and talk to them, get to know them, hey, spend some company with them, however you move to do it. If you move to do something in a certain way, then you do it the way that you move to do it. Plain and simple. Now, why I've stopped or started donating again was I was in Las Vegas, had company, relatives, and we had parked at the Venetian, which is in the middle of the strip, and they were down at Excalibur, which is on the southern end of the strip, so it's a good hike. And they wanted to see a certain thing at the Bellagio. So I parked there, and we were walking them back up. It was getting dark, and anybody who walks on the Las Vegas Strip knows there's a lot of people walking around on the strip. And they have these pedestrian bridges over top the main roads. So we're in a hurry and walk up to one side, walk up one bridge. There's always homeless people or people that live on the street, aren't homeless, but they're poor, so they try to get money and food and whatnot to take home to where they have virtually nothing. But they're all pretty much all good people. You know, I've talked to some of them. Some of them that are like more Christian than anybody in the church you can go to. So in a hurry, I had like maybe $5 on me. And I noticed one person, very quiet. They weren't playing an instrument or trying to sing or perform or ask for money. They're just sitting there, huddled up. I think one was laying down. And I started to reach, and I said, everybody's in a hurry because there was 5 family members from out of town. So I basically blew it off. And we passed another one going over from Caesar's Palace to Bellagio, and again I blew it off. Well, later on, I dropped them off. I was walking back quickly through that crowd, back to get to my car. I was crossing over the one same bridge, Caesar's and Bellagio, over to Caesar's. Instead of going down the main stairs, I went to side stairs. I was going to kind of cross the front of the resort. And as I come down the stairs and I start walking, it was dark, but there's plenty of light. And I noticed sitting on the ground, hard ground, like leaning against this low wall, was another homeless person. And I was in a hurry. I was ready to start to blow him off. I noticed him. I looked back, took one step, and a loud voice in my head said, 3 times, Tim? And just like, oh my God, oh my God. I knew what they were talking about, just like Peter. Denied me 3 times, Tim? Like, what they were saying is like, 3 times I was there, or my angels were there, and you blew us off. So I stopped. Like, sorry, Lord. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. And I took the money I had and gave it to him. Continued on my way. Like, oh my God, please forgive me. Please forgive me. So the point is that you never know. You never know who you're talking to or what you're talking to. The angel, the devil can appear as anything once, including an angel of light. How much more so do you think Jesus and the angels, even God himself, can appear? They're far greater than him. So if you're moved to do that, don't worry about what they're going to do. Don't worry about who or what they are, what they're about. Well, if you want to talk to them, get to know them, great. Hear their story, great. But do what you move to do without even thinking about the result and without even thinking about what's in it for you. Just do it. So that's why I try to do that. And again, there's plenty of times when I just don't have the money on me, or I'm in the wrong lane of traffic or whatever. But if you're out and about, because there's people in need all the time. And then there's the additional acts that you plan on doing. Hey, we're going to plan to go, take food to the poor or go work at a shelter or whatever. And that's awesome to do as well. So those all, any kind of act of kindness, anything you do or say is kind. How small or how large, it's a deposit in your 401 savings account in heaven. And even the Bible tells us that. Your treasures in heaven that even God himself will not prevail upon. Nothing gets touched. It doesn't get touched. It's like a 401k. Nothing touched it. But what's wonderful about it, when you take it out, you're not paying the IRS an extra 10%. Or you're not paying the IRS 20%. It's all yours. All yours. So, yes. And most of the things we do are like penny deposits, nickel deposit. Once if we're lucky, we'll be able to make a $1 deposit or a $5 or $10 deposit in our life. But mainly it's pennies, and nickel. But it's all going there. It's not being taken away from at all. You do it. You commit a sin. It's not taken away. Doesn't affect that account. Another example was I was taking a shower one time. I was planning to go buy some loaves of bread and some water. I was moved to do that and take it and give it to the poor, because there's poor down on my side of town in the Southwest Valley, all over the place. And I was gonna just get some food and get a loaf of bread for just under $1 and 24 pack of water for a couple $2 and change at Walmart and go distribute it. And I'm in the shower, and the Lord, the Lord, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and says, "Go, bread and water, Tim. Go take it. Take the bread and water to the poor." Yeah, Lord, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that right around here and nearby because there's plenty around here. He says, "No. Drive up in your car. Drive up to the north side of town, just through all the traffic and the highway next to the strip, and up to where the shelters were. And the poor mostly were gathered. Up in the north side of town, in the rough side of town." He says, "Well, Lord, but there's so many here. And just do it so close, it's close by." And I said, "It's not about your convenience. It's about helping those in need." And they're like, you're right. So it's another thing, when you're doing acts of kindness, go outside your safety zone, your comfort zone. Don't help them because it's next door, or it's close by. Sometimes you need to go out of your way to help somebody. Not necessarily physical distance, but just out of your way time, out of the way your comfort zone, out of the way your neighborhood. Go out of your way to do good, if you're called to do good. And he was calling me to do that. And he said, no. I need you to go where I tell. And that's kind of a test, maybe partly a test to later on when he said, to sell everything and go here, go there, which I'm doing now. That's like kind of a test possibly. And I just realized that. Maybe it was a test. Hey, see if I would listen to him to go someplace else besides where I'm at. And I did it. And I started to do that more. I would just buy food and take it. Because when you donate money, it's great. But how much, whether any kind of charity, how much of that money that you're donating actually gets to the people or person that you wanted to help? And how much of it's paying for overhead of the organization that you're donating to? because like American Cancer Society or whatever the country you're in, these big uh, organizations for charity, they have executive officers by law in this country have to have a certain level of salary. So it's like, that's crazy. So I changed and tried to make sure, so you're better off, your money's gonna be better used, however they want to use it, handing it to somebody directly on the street, or buying food and handing it directly to them, or to giving the money, the food to a shelter to give to them. That's more your money that you intended to use to charity is being utilized than actually donating to the charity. So that's what I started doing. You know, I still occasionally donate to a specific charity too, but I know that all of your $20 you gave him, probably half of it's not going to that person, or a quarter of it's not going to where it's supposed to go, or how you want it to go. But they have, to get good people to do those jobs, which aren't high paying to begin with, but they're still paid positions, and they're very necessary. But if you're one person like me that wants to make sure all that you give is to that, a lot of people give to charities for various reasons. Some of it's just out of guilt. Some of it think, well, they're trying to get on God's good side, or out of shame, or they genuinely want to help somebody, or they knew somebody or lost somebody to the particular disease or situation, or whatever, and so they help them. So it's good reasons. Some of it's a little selfish, but even the selfish reason, you're still helping somebody. So it's not, there's just different degrees of helping people. So I wanted to share that. Then there's some story about this friend of mine in Vegas. I was going through a Mother's Day, texting everybody on my phone list, cell phone list, Happy Mother's Day, that I knew there was a mother. And I came to this one friend and just felt this heaviness, this pull. So I texted her and says, hey, how's it going? Everything okay? She said, yeah, I'm at Disneyland with family and friends. And okay, inside? Like inside herself? Like, well, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I can't talk right now. So it's okay. Let it go. And but the next morning I woke up, or was woken up, to her text. She sent me a picture of herself. And she's one of the people I know. People know one of my gifts is I can look in somebody's a picture of somebody in their eyes and read all about them. Now, sometimes people won't admit to a particular thing that I see, but I see the truth. I know my gift. I know it's from God. I see, and if I see it, it's because He sees it. So I see what's going on in their head, what's going on inside them, what's hidden in there, stuff they didn't even know about. There's stuff inside you that you don't even consciously aware of, but God knows it. He knows it. Being His servant, being His conduit, I see it, and that's what I share. And I might see it all at once. I might go back multiple times, see more to go along. But what I see is what I see, and it's there, whether they want to admit it's all true or not. And they'll admit probably 90% or so of it. But then sometimes there's others that they won't. Well, I'm not feeling that. Well, I don't have that. No, I know it's there. It's just deeper down. Well, I was telling her what I saw, and I saw a little girl, and she's wearing a black coat, and she said that yes, she has a black coat, and it says mid-thigh. I said, yeah, it is. And I saw boots, which she didn't know what boots, but I knew she'd worn boots before. And I sensed that she was cold, not necessarily temperature cold, but cold, and that she was feeling lost and unsure. She said, well, yeah, I have been lately. And then I saw like she was holding her right hand out with this light. The light was the shape of an eye, 2 points, and then it arches up and down. And then there's like part of a pupil up above it on the top part. And like she was holding out like it was like her light or something as a lantern searching. And she said, well, yeah, I haven't been sleeping well, and I've been searching what I want to do, more I want to do in life and what I'm being called to do. And she told me what that stuff was. And, well, that's what that is. And you're feeling unsure, you're cold, you feel lost. And like the little girl, and she had lost her father not too many years back, and that I got the sense that she was missing her dad a lot, and what she was. And while we're talking that, all of a sudden this voice says to me, let go, little Jennifer. And I was like, what was that? So I shared it with her. She goes, who's that? It's like, I don't, that's somebody's communicating and saying, let go, little Jennifer. I don't know if it's your father or somebody else. Did he call you that? Like, she said, no. So she texted her mom asking. And mom said it was an aunt or something that called her that sometimes. But then the voice said, called her Jen Jen. It's like nobody knew anybody that called her Jen Jen. And then it just starts talking more and saying things, that they were there, he was there, or they were there when me and her met years ago in this restaurant. Because I was there when you two met. And he had wanted us to meet. And then more talking, then mentioned I am. It says, I am, it said, I am here now or there now. So I knew it was Jesus. So I was right there, a conduit for Jesus speaking through me to her over text. And he's telling her, he knows what he wants. He's calling her to leave all behind. She's married. She's got kids that are, grown or almost grown. And he's calling her to leave behind. I'm reminding her, hey, he says anybody does not hate their mother, father, sister, brothers, children, and so forth, in life itself, is not fit to follow me. So I'm supposed to hate them? Like, no, it doesn't mean hate. It means anybody who puts them or anything else ahead of him, ahead of Jesus, is not fit to follow him. You have to let everything go, which is what he said to the rich man. The eye of the camel, or the camel through the eye of the needle. Have to let everything go. And he also said anybody who when you start following him, anybody who puts their hands to the plow, in other words, starts to follow him and looks back, is not fit to follow him. It means you're called and you answer, don't look back. Like Lot's wife did, Sodom and Gomorrah. She turned to stone. Then you turn a pillar of stone and you're not moving. You're not going anywhere. So don't look back. So I explained all that to her. And then he said that Tim's here to teach you. So you need Tim to help you teach you. And I'm further ahead. I went through that stuff, like what she's experiencing right now. I went through that. And it says you're gonna take leaps of faith. Each one leap will take you to another leap, and it's hard. But he's calling you. But it's your choice. I keep telling you, it's your choice. And he reminded her that it was her choice. I'm not gonna read the verbatim of the conversation, but he's calling her. And then I would keep looking back at pictures and seeing more. And then she said, well, she sent me a picture of before. Oh no, she said, he said, what's the name of the ride? It's a Small World, which is a ride in Disneyland. Said, it's a small world. Ride the ride. Okay. She goes, that's my favorite ride. That's why we came here, because that was my special request. I had no idea. No way I could know that. No way. And I said, well, he says, ride that ride. He says, I send my guardians that will help you. And you ride through the tunnel, take the tunnel, will take you from childhood to woman servant. From little Jen to woman servant. So I said, well, you need to go ride that ride because something's going to happen. So let me know what happens. Well, she took a picture before she went in. She went through the ride, took a picture after she went out. And I looked at both. I said, the first one looked like you blurry, like you're trying to go through a haze, which adds to the uncertainty, which you probably were feeling at that time. And then the more clarity in the second one, I'm seeing some joy. I'm seeing some clarity. I'm seeing some excitement, nervousness, trepidation, but excitement, and positive stuff. And I said, what happened? Well, he says, in the middle, she started to cry. Then her best friend started complaining about something, the smell of something, whatever. Just kept complaining, right when she started to cry and stopped crying. Well, I looked at the picture after, and clearly, in the one eye, was the image of an angel in light. Entire outline of an angel, even with a halo. And it was like darkness huddled down in front of it, like cowering underneath that angel. In the right eye, I saw 4 angels gathered around that, shielding her, driving away that darkness. And I told her, I was like, I can guarantee his guardians, if he said he was sending, those angels, they arrived Right when you felt that like crying, that was joy. You suddenly transferred to joy. And tears, there's two kinds of tears: tears of sorrow, and tears of healing, tears of joy. And the healing of healing whatever is converted into tears of joy. So that's what that was. Those were changed over. The guardians arrived, and the darkness even used her friend to try to distract them, to try to distract that, prevent that. And the devil will manipulate people close to you, right by you, in spirit or physical people, trying to interfere with what you're being called to do, trying to interfere with your path. He'll do whatever he can. So I tell you, that's exactly what happened. And it says, well, he's done everything he just said he was going to do. So now she's got to decide. You know, it could take a number of years, it could happen pretty fast. But when you're called, when Jesus calls you, you need to answer. Because if you reject his answer, you reject a gift, your gifts, or any kind of gift to yourself of another person, or a spiritual gift, any kind, you reject any part or anything from God, you're rejecting God. And that's not something you want to do. I've done it. We've all done it. But we want to try to correct it ASAP. But you do not want to reject God. Because if you reject God, that opens yourself up to one other being. And you don't want to mess with him. So she's in the process of answering that call and learning and teaching. And he said, go to Tim. Told her to go to Tim, whether that happens or not. But again, that's her choice. And gone to help teach her. Because remember in a Bible message a while ago, he told me that he'd be sending me a helper. Or whether it's her or not, I don't know. It could be somebody else. But so that was just stuff I wanted to share with you. How awesome it is. And one other thing I wanted to, since we've got a little bit of time left, came to me was when I was reading Psalms, ones I read every day. Sometimes one part of one will just leap out at me like, okay, there's some weight to it. So I need to. He wants me to share something about it. There was Psalm 28:5. It says, because they have no regard for the deeds of the Lord, and what his hands have done, he will tear them down and never build them up again. So the meaning here I'm getting is that because they, which can be anybody, or mankind in general, has no regard for the deeds of the Lord, which is all his creation, his beauty, is the earth itself, because they have no regard for that, and what his hands have done, what he's done since then, what he does in the world, in our lives, since they have no regard for that, he's going to tear them down. He's going to tear these people down. He's going to tear mankind down and never build them up again. That's why he's going to cleanse this world, renew it, and put who he wants here. The people here, mankind as it is, all going to be gone. Everybody's going to be gone. And he will put here who he wants to be here. Like Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, the meek shall inherit the earth. Right there he's telling us who God's going to put here. Meek and the humble. Will there still be free will? I don't know. But it's basically going to make things the way they're supposed to be. So maybe free will, may not, I don't know. But it won't be disease. It'll be like heaven on earth, but physical form. And when that's going to happen, I don't know. Only he knows that. Oh yeah, and I mentioned before that I know I shared on my blog about Las Vegas because you get messages through Bible messages and references in my Rhythm and Rhyme messages about Vegas going to be destroyed by fire. By an earthquake. And last year there were a lot of earthquakes in Vegas. Most of them were deep down, or it was minor that nobody felt them. Then after that would be fires caused by the gas leaks, then floods. And there's only 4 inches of rain a year in Vegas, but it can't flood. And all he's got to do is open up heavy thunderstorms for a number of days, and it'll wash the entire valley away easily. And he said, number of survivors will fill a large room. So there you're talking over 2 million, 2.3 million, whatever, living there, and how many thousands upon thousands visiting there, and then the first responders coming in. A lot of people are going to be gone. A lot of people are going to be gone. And people can believe it or not. My last year, or second to last year there, summer, I experienced it. I mean, I felt tremors, like there was it was not the Air Force. You know, there was nothing reported, no construction going on that would cause the tremors or explosion or sonic boom, nothing. But I felt it. And I was told that it was a warning for me, specifically for me to hear. Not warning to me, warning for me to hear. 3 days later, the exact same thing, and this one was felt by everybody and reported on the news. It was from northeast of Vegas and felt in Vegas. 3 days later. This was in the summer. Now in November, right around my birthday, it was on my birthday, right around my birthday, I felt it again with no report. And this was before he told me in the messages about I was going to destroy Las Vegas. Well, he mentioned it in his conversations with her, and when I was being that conduit, he said, hold on a second, just a second. And later, another time later, I was walking my dog. It was clear blue sky as usual, and I looked over, and it was a cloud just above the strip, Las Vegas Strip, and it was perfect shape of an angel. The tips of its wings, top and bottom, and the head, and the flowing gown. It was there. Wow! So I kept walking, look back. It's still in the same spot. Walking, look back. Still in the same spot. Walking. Totally gone. And this is a flat valley. All gone. That's the angel of the Lord over the strip. And believe it or not. Where is it? He said, bear with me. Bear with me. I scroll up through this. And this was, how many days? Maybe 3 days ago? Well, Mother's Day was Sunday, so it would have been Tuesday. It said, Jen, your eyes I shall transform into golden orbs of joyful light. Your tears, rather. And he did, in the tunnel there. My guardians surround you to protect you from the darkness that soon will try to hold you back. Reject them. That's what he did. Take this journey through tunnel from child to woman servant. Open your heart, Jen. Feel my spirit flow into you to give you strength for what you must do. That I am waiting. That's before she went on the ride. So, I can't find what it was. But he said that he's going to wipe the desert clean. Basically what it says. I'm going to wipe the desert clean. You're being called, she's being called to do this, and that she needs to follow answer, do what he wants her to do, because he's going to wipe the desert clean. That just confirms right there from God, from Jesus himself, not through any message, not sending these cryptic signs in the sky. Jesus, through me as conduit to her, I'm going to wipe the desert clean. When? I don't know. Too many things. Oh yeah, another thing happened since that one earthquake was, there was an earthquake, so-so earthquake in Southern California. This was last year, or in the fall, not long before I left. And they were calling for a bigger one. It wasn't going to be a bigger one. It's going to be felt up here in Vegas, possibly on Tuesday, which is like the next day or 2 days later. Well, it never happened. But upon investigation, they did notice that a new fault line had formed from that other earthquake, extending up towards Las Vegas. Little pieces of the puzzle. And Vegas is full of fault lines. I mean, the ancient mountains around Vegas are all volcanic. I've hiked in them. They're volcanic. This fault line, I mean, Las Vegas Strip is above a fault line. It is a fault line in itself. The Colorado River, close by, the Hoover Dam, is a fault line. Grand Canyon is a fault line. So when that dam goes, forget about anybody downriver. With a lot of water behind it. And a lot of these minor little earthquakes have happened close to the Hoover Dam in that part of the valley. You know, Hoover Dam's just not far southeast of Las Vegas. Maybe 5 miles or so outside the southeastern end of the valley. So this stuff's gonna happen. Next year, this year, next year, 5, 10, 20, 100 years, I don't know. Who knows? Not for me to know, but it's going to happen. So this is all stuff I wanted to share with you. And hopefully it has meaning to you and has some positive effect on you. Hopefully it doesn't make you think I'm nuts, but that's up to you. It doesn't affect me, what other people think about me. I just share. I'm just a messenger. I share. I'm his conduit for his word, his truth, his wisdom, his knowledge, his love, his will, his graces, his healing graces, his light. Conduit. That's what we all want to be. So I just share what I'm given. And what you do with it, what you believe with it, like anything else that you experience in your life, it's totally your choice. That's free will. So hopefully it was positive for you. And that's all the videos are. And I'll leave it at that. So we'll see what it is he wants me to talk about next time. And I hope you have any clarity. And again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. Not a problem. I will answer whether I know you or not. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And I'll be happy to discuss anything about anything I share about God. And you may be able to teach me something. I don't know it all. Not even close. So with that, God bless. Peace of Christ. Good night.